Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 160. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I'd like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app, and we want you to be on it. For $3.99 per month, you can be part of that app, and what you will get is access to the greatest endurance trainer in the world, Ms. Valerie Hunt of RunRx.fit, and she will deliver to your calendar 3 days a week, 3 bodyweight exercises, 4 days a week, 4 barbell strength exercises, and 4 daily WODs. For $9.99 a month, you can have access to all of the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer. Everything from 5K programs to 100-mile programs to Spartan races to triathlons. The goal of Lift Heavy Run Long is to bring fitness to as many people as possible, as inexpensively as possible. So if you or someone you know does not have $3.99 a month, but you think that some fitness would enhance the quality of your life or their life, please email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com, and I'll be more than happy to add you to the app free of charge. Anyone can go to www.liftheavyrunlong.com, click on sign up now, and read about any of our programs. Put in your email address, and you will automatically be subscribed to the app for a free week on it. I have sitting to my right the most incredible woman in the world, my beautiful wife, and her newfound boot, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, jacked in tan.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pardon me while I kind of do a sound check while in the middle of the show.
Rude.
What's new with you? It is rude. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. Not much.
Other than the boot.
Other than my boot. Went on my lunch break and went and picked up a boot.
Baby got boot.
Just to be clear, these boots are not made for walking.
Yeah. Hobbling around.
But it's got the little pump-up thing like the
Air
old
Jordans.
basketball shoes.
Yeah, the old. Yeah.
Hopefully she didn't pay Air Jordan prices for them.
I
Well,
bet
sure
she
this is
paid
way
way
more
more
than
than Air
The
Jordan.
insurance company is paying.
Yeah.
But now we have a matching set. She needed mine yesterday. I have a left, and she has a right. And now,
Now, if somebody hurts themselves, we can just
Yep.
share the love.
so if you get hurt, call us. We'll give you a boot.
Yep. They think I've got a stress fracture, but they didn't see anything on the x-ray, but everything I described. And when he pinched down on my foot and I about fell out on the floor, he was pretty concerned it was. So I got a boot for 2 weeks.
I would imagine, I don't know, I'd like to know the stats on that. I know it's not uncommon to not be able to find a stress fracture on a...
Right. And he said that.
On
He
a
said they're very
X-ray.
micro.
I wonder if it's more common not to than it is to.
I'm sure it is, because he went ahead and gave me a boot just to be sure, because he's like,
Yeah.
I don't see it. The x-rays look good.
I think the only reason that they find stress fractures on x-rays is if you continue to irritate it and they find the healing of the plaque or whatever.
Well,
is
he said I could have been
narrow.
on the
Just stay at a
downhill
Holiday Inn
on getting
Express
ready to
last night.
break it. He talked about how you have a wire hanger and you keep bending it, and it finally snaps. He goes, I could be down on the downhill for that, getting ready to snap my bone. So,
Well, we need to fix that sooner than later.
yeah. He's like, are you training for the St. Jude Marathon? And I was like, yes. I just didn't want to get into it. It's like, I got a lot of things I'm training
we don't
for,
need
but
the
we're
big
not going to get
picture.
into that.
To Amanda's right. Do we have a treat for y'all or what? To Amanda's right.
Hell
we
yeah.
have on camera. See, this is going to get people to go to YouTube and finally start watching on YouTube.
think so?
Because for good reason, people don't watch podcasts on TV. Not too many of them, but they will now. Big Thirsty Brian Swanson.
What's up?
Filling in for the Reverend Von Rawls, who is
Just on
out
the couch.
running around. Jackson, who turned 13 this week. Vaughn now has a second teenager, and so he's helping Holly out.
Actually, I
Getting
think he's
him
only
ready.
got one now.
He's only got one.
Oh,
The other
yeah.
one's 21.
Abby's
I
of
meant
age.
like he has another one going through that
Oh.
phase of
No.
teenagerness.
Gotcha.
And filling in for Big Thirsty, who's not in Big Thirsty's place, we have another treat for you. Ketogenic Chris Perry.
What's up?
How are you, Chris?
I'm fine. How are you?
Man, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It has been.
Can I tell you how excited I am to have you here?
I see the
You
excitement.
sense that?
Well, yeah, I can sense it.
I want you to. I
Okay.
want you to know
Yeah.
how excited.
Yes.
If the 4,000 memes that Amanda and I sent you earlier were gifts,
That was a lot of pressure.
were not enough to convince you to come over here, I just don't know what would have been.
That was a lot of pressure.
I could feel you start to buckle. You were pretty solid. No,
I mean, I was sweating and walking around in circles.
did you go and like did you have to seek counsel to find out?
I did.
I figured that you probably went to Candace and was like, these people won't give it up. And she was probably like, you got to go.
Exactly.
Is that the way that went down?
Exactly.
I figured it was.
Yes, it was.
Well, good. We're going to have a good time.
We are. I'm already having a good time.
All right.
I will be interested to find out from the keto perspective how good that drink is. Like, have you looked at it to see?
Dump your mic, Swanson. I can't hear you.
Check, check,
I
check,
can
Pull it
hear you.
closer to your. There.
check, 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 check,
That better?
A little bit.
check,
Well,
check,
that's-
check,
yeah.
check, check.
All right, go ahead.
That's actually what I was looking at a while ago.
I would think that would be keto friendly since it
Well,
doesn't have carbs.
It doesn't have carbs in it, but pineapple, I mean, it's got a pineapple flavor. I get.
What's that? Oh.
This thing is all going to hell, man.
I'm just glad it's not any of us screwing up. That's all
All
that
right.
matters.
All right, y'all go ahead and have a conversation.
So, anyways, I
about
brought
something turning on.
a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I bought some NOCCO. I think is how you say the company's name. It's a no carb drink that's got caffeine and BCAAs in it. So it's meant to be like a pre-workout type drink.
Let's just clarify how much caffeine's in that again.
As Wilson's drinking
Not
it.
enough to touch me.
Is it 180 milligrams?
I'm going to
180
go right to
milligrams.
bed
180?
tonight. I'm going to show y'all how well I sleep on caffeine.
Okay.
I would swear that this had liquor in it.
I promise you I would not do that to you.
It tastes like some old liquor. Is what it tastes like. it tastes like pineapple orange and vodka that was forgotten in the back of the work truck. And you grab the wrong bottle and you open it like 3 days later in July, and it makes a when you open it and then you take a sip of it instead. That's what it tastes like. But it still tastes pretty good though.
I've enjoyed them. I've started using them. I drink it as a pre-workout or pre-race. So I'll drink it before a run, or I'll drink it before I do a CrossFit workout. So
Oh, it's like pre-workout level.
that's what I'm
Maybe that's
using
why
it
I'm
for.
so excited.
That's what I'm using it for. I don't know if that's their intended target, but
I probably should have read a little bit about.
BCAAs and caffeine, I think that's pre-workout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
okay. Well, I just opened it and started drinking it.
Well, throughout the podcast, as Wilson gets more and more excited about things, we'll find out.
Yep. And then when I grab my chest and flip over sideways, then at
Amanda
least-
can beat you with the boot.
Yeah.
well, this was nice of you to bring. Very thoughtful.
I just wanted you guys to try it.
I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a Popeye's fried chicken sandwich,
It's
which would have
not
been
a
really
Popeye's.
even more
So,
thoughtful.
man, I know we've talked about this, but so I went Tuesday of this week and had one. I walked into Popeyes at 11:15 in the morning. The parking lot was Chick-fil-A-ish in that it was wrapped out onto the street. You know, the drive-through line was wrapped out onto the street. So I had trouble even getting into the parking lot because I was going to go in and sit down. And then I finally got inside, and there's like 4 or 5 people in front of me. When I finally get up there, and I'm like, I need two spicy chicken sandwiches. She's like, that'll be a 45-minute wait.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, excuse me? She's like, there's literally 30 sandwiches ordered in front of you right now. And so,
So it's going to take a minute and a half for each sandwich?
well, and that was the thing. It only took like 15 minutes for them to actually get it to me. But I mean, at that point, they're having to fry up more chicken. They don't just have 30 sandwiches laying around or the chicken patties or whatever they are. But the crazy thing is like, You can definitely see the difference, and all the memes are true about the difference between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A and the way they handle it. Like Popeyes employees don't give a fuck about what you think they should be doing or any of that stuff. And the crazy thing is their drive-through line. There were people in the drive-through line waiting for their chicken sandwich. They didn't say, "Please pull forward. We'll bring your sandwich out to you." They waited at the window for their sandwich. So that line just steadily got longer and longer as the first person is waiting their 15 minutes.
And
for
which
their
one
sandwich.
were you at? Which?
East Memphis. It's Poplar and.
There's no way
Colonial.
around. When you're in that, you're walled in.
Yep.
Like if somebody's waiting, you can't just say screw it and pull off.
Exactly.
That's nuts.
Yep.
Man,
That's weird that you know that drive-thru has.
He didn't even hesitate.
I mean,
I've been eyeballing every Popeye's chicken that I've come across for the
okay,
last 2 weeks.
that was just weird.
And then the other funny thing is, so Tuesday, a buddy of mine tried to go at 2 or 3 o'clock, and he went to the one in Cordova. They were sold out. I heard on the radio Wednesday morning that all Mid-South area Popeyes were sold out until at least Thursday. And then Wednesday afternoon, Popeye's corporate Twitter account tweets, "Sorry, y'all, we're out of chicken sandwiches." Like the whole fucking country.
Let me tell
out
you
of
something. Let me tell you this for sure. If I'm in the fried chicken business, one thing I'm not running out of
Is
is
fried
fried
chicken?
You can bet your ass that I would be taking my suppliers' heads and putting them in the deep fryer and serving them up as breast of
Something.
chicken.
Like it amazes me.
I mean, this is a once in a lifetime. This is definitely a once in a lifetime Popeyes opportunity.
And of course, the other reason why Chick-fil-A is always going to win. Did you see Wilma Hawk's tweet?
Yes.
He
no, I didn't see the tweet.
A Chick-fil-A manager took 2 bags of chicken sandwiches to Popeye's employees so that they had something to eat because they were working so hard and they were frustrated with how customers were treating them.
Yeah.
And he's like, and this is why Chick-fil-A is always going to win.
They're going to kill them in every category, except for possibly flavor,
Right,
because it's
right.
it's a fad. There's just no chance.
So
I'm
what's
going to tell you, like, it definitely had some heat to it. It was a good sandwich. Is it like so much better than Chick-fil-A? No, I don't think so. I think it was a good sandwich. When the hype is over and I'm not having to wait 45 minutes or 15 minutes to get a sandwich, I might go have one every once in a while.
Be a good place to go on Sundays.
Well, so did you
fall back?
Did you actually see some of the Popeyes? Some of the Popeyes on their little boards outside. They say people deserve to eat chicken on Sunday.
Did you see Chick-fil-A's response? So at least we keep our chicken in stock.
Did you see? I don't know if this was true or not, but there was a Twitter picture that I saw where Hardee's or Arby's had a sign that said, "We sell chicken sandwiches
the
too,"
one
and the Wendy's account said, "No one gives a shit."
I want to meet that Wendy's Twitter person.
The Wendy's Twitter person is not, whatever they're paying them, it's not enough.
It's not enough. And I love that Wendy's corporate has given them enough freedom to just be like as sarcastic
Knock yourself
as possible. Like say
Yeah.
what you want to say, do what you want to do. We just want people drawn to the brand, and
It's working.
And it's
I mean,
working,
it's
like-
totally the next generation kind of company.
There have been days that I have seen Wendy's light somebody up, and I've gone to Wendy's for lunch that day just like, if that's what I got to do to keep that guy in his job, then I'm going to go to Wendy's today and I'm going to order a burger because that social media guy is on fire.
Yep.
So what
Person.
started this whole Popeyes Chick-fil-A? What started everything? Why is Popeyes sandwich all of a sudden a big deal and they're going against
I think it's
Chick-fil-A?
new. I think the spicy sandwich is new.
Okay.
And I don't know who first made the comparison, but the world has just run with it.
But yeah, I wonder where ground zero. There has to be, like, you have to be able to trace this back to somebody's YouTube clip.
It was probably
or
Wilma Hawk.
tweet.
He's probably the one that
It
started.
was probably his phone call to me. That was it. That's funny. Well, people will never get tired of someone saying "my pleasure" after they take your order.
True story.
And you'll get that from Chick-fil-A, and you're never going to get that from Popeyes.
You know what? So I have found out that Chick-fil-A has like some healthier sandwich options for breakfast now. So I was like, oh, I took Charlie to the vet this morning. I was like, I'll swing by Chick-fil-A and I'll try out one of their sandwiches. I was so disappointed. I've never had this problem before.
Were
But
they out of
Chick-fil-A gave me a bacon sandwich instead of a grilled chicken sandwich this morning. So Charlie had a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
If you take that back to them tomorrow, they'll give you a car. or they'll wash your car, or they'll do whatever they have to do to make sure that it gets.
I was so
done right.
disappointed.
They will apologize to you for the rest of that afternoon. It's unbelievable. Everybody, whatever Chick-fil-A does to their employees or however they find their employees, like they should be consulting for like human beings. Every human being should have to go through Chick-fil-A.
You would think
training.
more people would catch on to that.
Yeah.
As far as customer service and everything.
What are they doing?
Customer service is such a lost art.
It is.
I'm sure. My number one guess is they're probably paying their people more.
But you can only pay somebody. It doesn't matter how much. I know a lot of highly paid dickheads.
Mm-hmm. True story. But I'm just saying, like, if they are trying to find a person of a certain quality, then the first thing you're going to do is you got to cut out the people that would only work for minimum wage, or that you would only pay minimum wage. Let me just say it that way.
The way that these people act, I don't think a difference of $6 an hour is going to sway that for very long. I mean, there's just a culture that's instilled in that whole place that everybody knows that you better act like this. I don't know what they do with you if you act up or if you're not happy.
I guess they're gone because
They would have to be.
I saw you
nobody
frown
there.
today. You're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they let you out? I mean, has anybody ever heard from a disgruntled Chick-fil-A employee?
I never have.
That's what we're going to have to find
That
out.
could be what they're making these chicken sandwiches out of. Is outed. And that's why they're running out, because there's not enough of them. You don't hear people getting fired from Chick-fil-A and talking about how bad they hated it.
No, most of them go open their own Chick-fil-A.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Very true. Anything else we want to cover on the whole Chick-fil-A thing? You know, we do the weed control over there at the one on Poplar, and I have to make sure that we route ourselves to where we're taking a left in there, because the truck doesn't have very good. It's got a really big turning radius, but it's just always so crowded that every time you go in there, it's a gamble. And so we drove by the Popeyes, and I saw where it looked Chick-fil-A-ish. But, you know, you can't get out of there. So I went into Chick-fil-A. There's 400,000 people in there, the same way that there always is. And it takes the same, you place your order, you go use the restroom, wash your hands, and come back out, and somebody's calling your name with a bag.
Yep.
Then you ask them for a straw, and they're like, my pleasure. Like, what the hell? It's good stuff, man.
I'm not sure who we just did PR for, but
Chick-fil-A, definitely.
They don't need us.
We should Wendy's.
I need Chick-fil-A more than Chick-fil-A needs me.
at the point that a Chick-fil-A can tear down one of their restaurants that stays busy from open to close, they can tear it down for 6 months to rebuild it just to put in 2 drive-thrus instead of 1.
Yep.
You know that they're printing money.
And then they doubled their numbers that year.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and they've been closed for 3 months, but we doubled our numbers.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how fast they can get it out. It's not a matter of getting people in the door.
Yeah.
It's just a matter
Yeah, and
of
it's
how
not
quickly
even
they
like,
can
no,
get
we
it
don't
out.
need to pay the construction crews extra to get this done quickly. Doesn't matter how long it takes.
No.
The people will be back when we reopen.
It's good bird, though. I mean, that's some good chicken. It used to only be at malls, I think.
Yeah, it started off just in malls.
Was that the
Yep.
that the truth?
remember
The
being
original
little,
Chick-fil-A in Memphis, I think, was in Oak Court. I had a
No,
buddy.
there was actually one in Southland Mall in
Was
Whitehaven
it?
when I
Was
was
it really?
Yeah, when I
Southland
oh,
Mall.
wow.
was. Yeah.
Wow.
I know when I was little at Northgate in Chattanooga, there was one there.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Chick-fil-A and Sbarro Pizza is what I remember being in malls.
Yeah.
What about what is that orange place that used to do this orange?
Orange Julius.
Yes.
They're kind of combined
That
with
was
Dairy
just
Queen
in
now.
malls, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That
I've
was
never even
combined
had
with
one.
Yeah, they're combined with Dairy Queen now, though, because there's the Dairy Queen on Hacks has Orange Julius.
What is Orange Julius? I think we've discussed this before. Is
Is
it
it
like a
s-
push-up?
Is it a smoothie or is it more ice cream
It's
ish?
more ice cream. It's not. It looks like a dreamsicle, but it's more orangey. I don't know how to explain it. I haven't had one since I was teeny tiny at the mall.
That's where we're going when we leave here.
First Chick-fil-A then.
Well,
Chick-fil-A and Orange Julius.
one of my many fellow fat friends turned me on to the Sonic slushy ice cream. Have you ever had one of those? And so
yeah.
since then I've had, at
He
least
was watching earlier.
a dozen.
I don't know if he's still watching.
And so now what I think we should do is we should go get some Popeyes chicken burgers or whatever. And some of that slushy ice cream and an Orange Julius. We should just bat for the cycle.
And Krispy Kreme's down there, so while we're at it, we
Krispy
just
Kreme's.
swing by there.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm fat.
I don't know. My diet's not working.
It's not.
It's just nutrition isn't for me. I'm not cut out for nutrition. It doesn't work.
It does not work.
I've tried it before.
Is that real on your screen?
Yeah, it's real. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
We got a review.
Nice.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Aw,
That's because Chris is here.
Chris wrote it.
I did.
It's my friend Jason Belk. He says, Shauna, so I agree with Shauna. Great pod. Keep up the good work. And the one before was Shauna saying that she enjoyed the podcast. I think didn't learn much from it, but enjoyed it and wanted me to shut up about reviews,
I got
which
a
I did
kick-
not. So please leave us a review.
I got a kick out of the Twitter comment we got this week. Where was that at? Stephen Cameron? Stephen Cameron. You are one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, but watching you on YouTube is so much more fun. 30 minutes into episode 159 when Vaughn starts doing a selfie had me cracking up. Lynn's review of the sandwich is dead on.
That's some good stuff. Have you ever drank Gatorade Flow?
Nope.
Speaking of sports drinks, you need to try it. We should get one when we go get some Los Julius and mix it
That'd be
together.
an appetizer.
Well, and it's funny because, I mean, as much caffeine as Wilson's had, he's going to be up all night to eat,
Yeah.
eat and drink all of this stuff.
He'll wake me
so
and be like,
it'll
let's
be
go to
fun.
Crystal now. Try to get the spicy Crystal
Yeah,
chicks in
Crystal has
there.
a new
Crystal,
sandwich.
Crystal has an all-you-can-eat thing, $5.99.
I watched a documentary on Kobayashi and Jaws last night. They have a 30 for 30.
Okay.
The good, the bad, and the hungry is what
Okay.
it's called. You need to watch it.
Okay.
Now part of it was, I'm emotionally involved because of what Gavin did to me in my eating contest. So I can understand what these guys go through on some level. I have a respect for what these guys do in their sport. And it's pretty intense, man. This guy Jaws, he got into this eating thing and it consumed him, no pun intended.
Wow.
Like to beat Kobayashi. Do you know how many crystals? Do you know what the world record for crystals is? That they ate?
72.
It's 96.
In what time frame?
12 minutes.
96,
96.
including the bun and everything?
Wasn't that in
That's gotta
Chattanooga
be
when
it.
he did
That's got
that?
to be water.
I don't know.
Because Crystal's the home of.
That's gotta be
Chattanooga's
them
the home
dipping
of
it in water.
crystals.
Oh, that's right. I didn't know that crystals were invented in Chattanooga.
Interesting.
And for those of you listening for the first time to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast and expecting to hear about fitness, we'll talk about that next week. Yeah, so crystals were invented in Chattanooga. These guys, 96, the hot dogs, I can't remember what the 68, something like that, 65. But yes, it has something to do with them dipping into water. It also has something to do with them training their asses off.
They can move around. They can move their stomachs around. They can move the food around in their stomachs.
You wouldn't believe what these guys do.
Yeah.
Seriously?
You got to watch it. And they were talking about there's
Well, there you go.
no precedent set for how to train for this. So it shows Jaws with bags of weight, with like chomping down on mouth guard type things, trying to do whatever he's trying. He says his jaws get tired. Oh. Kobayashi once tried to use the excuse that he had an arthritic jaw and he wasn't going to be able to compete against Jaws. Like he had an injury. Like you
Pulled
get
muscle.
injured in sport competition, sport
Pulled
eating.
muscle.
That's what they say. It's just like CrossFit. When everybody says you're going to get injured, they tell me the same thing about eating. Like, be careful.
Well, I
eating.
know when
You're
I
gonna
chew
get
gum
injured.
for long periods of time, my jaws get sore.
Yep.
So I guess you had to eat real fast.
That's what they do. These
That's
people
crazy.
are skilled, man.
Did your jaws get sore when you were doing those chicken wing eating
No,
Contests.
my heart just hurt.
from the cholesterol or from losing?
A little bit of both. It was really just my emotions. My emotions hurt.
Okay.
That hurt. That whole thing hurt. Like it hurt me physically, mentally, and emotionally. Somebody mentioned doing another eating contest, and I'd be no way.
Oh, what was that for? I saw that feed. What was it for? It wasn't crystals. It was something.
I don't remember. So back to Gatorade Flow. You got to try this. I'm assuming that the Gatorade Flow, it's called Flow because it's so easily drinkable. Like they take
Okay.
the bite out of it. And I mean, you'll drink a quart accidentally. You go to take a sip, and then next thing you know, it's just all gone.
You've had it?
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Is that what's in the refrigerator?
That's the cucumber something. It's not the flow.
Oh, okay.
But it's similar because it doesn't have bite either.
Okay.
I'm telling you this to let you know that Gatorade is improving all the time.
I'm not a fan of Gatorade. I like Powerade.
Well, they don't have a
maybe you would
Powerade
like
flow.
Flow. Maybe you like Gatorade Flow.
You need to try Gatorade Flow because it's different.
No, I'm Powerade girl. Just kidding.
Just because I
Team
like,
Powerade.
yeah. I'm going to put some in your Powerade, and you're not going to know the difference.
Yeah, y'all should get a kickback for every name that y'all have talked about tonight. We
all
got Chick-fil-A,
food.
Arby's, Wendy's.
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah. And you can
Orange
only imagine
juice.
the amount of listeners who would tune in to hear this
Crystal.
kind of quality, especially when they're wanting to talk about fitness. And
Hey, talking about fitness for a hot second.
oh, man, we got to.
How about the 2020 Open is coming in like 2 weeks?
No.
The Open starts soon.
Well, I saw that, but I thought that was next October.
No.
No, it's this October.
It's like in 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
Why do
Whatever.
they call it the 2020 Open? Was
Because it's
2019?
going to be the games
Yeah.
for 2020.
Oh, so it is coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It is coming in 2 weeks. Yeah, they're moving the games to a different time of year.
That's why there's
So
two
this year is going to be the only year that we have like this double thing happening, but they're changing the time frame. So now the Open's going to be in October, November, and then the games will be in like March or April, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And then in 2020, October will be the 2021 Open. Anyways,
Are you going to compete?
I have a boot.
I'm going to get me one of those.
get you a
My
boot.
jaw hurts.
I can't imagine I just can't imagine there being any real hoorah behind that. It's so fast. It just ended. But I guess that's the way it's got to do
yeah,
it
I mean,
sometimes.
that's-
Either
yeah.
you take off an entire year and a half or you go ahead and do it. And
Double up on your.
yeah, I dig it.
We'll
All
see.
right.
You gonna do
It'll
it?
be interesting.
Probably not. I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to do
it's
CrossFit
funny
anymore.
because of how, like in America, I think attendance will be down because most gyms do Friday night lights for the open workouts, and then they'll do it on Saturday. And you're talking about football time in the fall.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're going to high school football, that's Friday night. If you're
Mm-hmm.
watching college football, then chances are, you know, you're getting up in the morning to watch it, the pregame or whatever.
Yeah, you're drinking all day long.
And
You don't
you're
want to
drinking
go.
all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, maybe if you got me up at like 7 a.m. to do the workout on Saturday morning, but yeah, I don't think the attendance is going to be as high this year because of that.
That's a good point.
Especially in the South. Nobody's going to give up their football for CrossFit.
We'll see.
I hope not. Anyway, I felt fall this
did
morning,
too.
yesterday
Yeah.
morning,
It's
and man,
it's the
was I
low you and go
excited.
false sense of security.
Yeah, it is.
Second hell is coming.
We always have one. I remember being at the Mississippi State Memphis football game. Probably the third weekend of college football season, first weekend where real teams play. The first couple weeks are generally maybe one big game, two big games, but for the most part, it's kind of some fluff stuff.
Yeah, that's why the Gators played last weekend.
And that's right. You're damn right. And I heard it was garbage.
Yeah, they only won because of whoever they were playing, which I don't even know who it was.
Miami. So it was a big game.
Oh, it was a big game.
on
then. That's
some level.
interesting.
But Miami's supposed to be terrible, and Florida's supposed to be pretty good, and apparently they were both really bad. And I know that it was garbage because I sat there and refreshed that garbage for 3 quarters on Twitter. Never once got up to turn on Roku
The actual TV.
and watch the game.
Twitter, watching it on Twitter is better.
But, I have, Dan Mullen, who was Mississippi State's old coach, who left to go to Florida. I had to kind of hope that he lost. But at the end of the day, I really like Dan Mullen. I don't have any hard feelings. He did for us what nobody else could do for us. You can't blame the guy for going back to his alma mater. That's Florida and not Mississippi State. There's a lot of good reason to leave there.
But you were talking, anyways. You were talking about first couple weeks fluff. You were talking about fall weather.
Yeah, just ultra season.
Yeah.
Man, it's coming up. Like everything is coming up. I got the email about the Tour de Spirit 24-hour.
I got my work schedule straightened out on that today.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is exciting because you always have something going on.
Yeah, I always have to come late from work, or I have to work up until that point or whatever. So I'm off the day before and the rest of the weekend.
And then we have, of course, the Chris Hope 5K and the Big Hill Pond Walking Tall 25K and 50K. And then we have Sylamore will be right around the corner.
St. Jude.
Tunnel Hill.
St. Jude.
Stanky Creek, St. Jude.
Stanky Creek's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Which last year that was the
hot week. Yeah,
that was
hot.
Yeah, that was
awful.
I was just having this conversation with somebody else. It's like, yes, it feels like fall. Yes, this might last. This might generally last like through to winter, but we're going to have a 3, 4, 5 day stretch where it gets back over 100 and it's miserable outside, and then it'll just go right back to like 50s and 60s in the morning, and welcome to the South. That's how we do.
That's how we roll.
So are you doing Stanky?
I don't know. I hadn't really thought that far ahead. Probably
Are you
not.
doing
2
Stanky?
weeks. I think I'm going to be here. I'm going to do the 25K.
2 weeks, like as in not
2
this
weekends.
weekend, but
No,
next
no.
weekend, or
2 weekends
a
after
little
this
over
weekend.
2 weeks away. Yeah. We'll have to see about that.
I'm not, but I think
Plenty of
everybody
time to
knows
train.
that.
No, anybody that knows you
And the boot
knows
has nothing
that
to do
it has
with this.
nothing.
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
I forgot about that. And my
She could
boot.
be in perfect
I
health,
keep forgetting.
in peak condition, and she is not going to be seen.
Oh, we have the Big River Half
If-
Marathon too.
If you were in the middle of Nesbitt Park, which is where Stanky Creek's at, and you broke a leg and your phone would only call Amanda, she'd be like, "You're shit out of luck. I'm not coming in there and
Save
get
your
you."
battery.
Drag your ass out by your hands and drag your body
She
out.
does
'cause-
not
I
like
tripped over a root one time there, and I'm never going
Stanky
back.
Creek.
Yep. It's terrible. It was so bad.
It was bad.
It was so bad.
Yeah. When Amanda's angry, you don't want to be out there on the trail running with her when she's angry.
He's had to deal with me. Remember I got mad and you were like, I'm leaving
Oh,
you.
when we did the red loop.
And Brian took me. I was like,
I forgot about that.
I felt bad. I was like, well, I know Brian can handle me. It's okay.
Amanda and I are on totally different levels of like fitnessy stuff. She's very much more like focused and ready to go, and I'm just like happy to be there.
Got out of bed.
You were totally let's get lost in the woods for a few hours.
Yes.
She is willing to do 3 hours of work, but she wants it to be the path that she's supposed to be on and know where she's supposed to be and know what the work is.
Yeah, she's like, let's go to the woods and get fit for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go to the woods and get lost. And us together is like, let's get in different places of these woods and do what we do in these woods.
I'm going this way, you get lost.
Yeah.
Oh man! Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about ultra season and running in the nice weather. That's going to be fun. My air conditioner went out in my car.
Oh, so this weather's going to be nice for you then.
Oh man! I mean, it only went out for a day, but I mean, we take for granted the things that we have.
Yeah, he went and got that fixed. I thought he was going to wait and like try to ride it out for the rest of the summer.
No.
He's like, no, I'm taking it tomorrow.
No, like
Oh.
it wasn't going to be more than
Is
24
this the
hours.
work truck or your
No,
personal?
No, personal vehicle.
Altina.
It wouldn't matter what vehicle it was. I'm not going. It was horrible. It's horrible. Driving around in a vehicle with no air conditioner is terrible.
So I've got a Ford F-150 that's, I can't even think of what the feature's called, but like when I pull up to a stoplight, if I have my foot on the brake, the engine will shut off.
Yeah.
And then when I take my foot off the brake, it restarts the engine and I keep going. I start to complain when the AC slows down a little bit, just from like turning off the car, because the air will keep blowing, but obviously the condenser or whatever is not running, so you can feel it go from like ice cold to just kind of cold, and it's like, oh, it's too hot for that. So like I'll just pull my foot off the brake just a little bit. Just
Go ahead and
so the
make a
engine
right
restarts.
turn.
Well, it's one of those things that if you have the brake fully mashed down, the engine will stop, but if you just let up just a little bit, where you're like about to go, it'll restart. It's like, okay, there we go. So
You see,
the struggle's
Swanson,
real.
he stops like 50 yards
Just
behind the other
slowly
car.
creep.
Exactly.
Oh man, we do great things for this planet. Just as humans, we're just always looking out for.
So
Like it's great that they make these environmentally friendly things, and I think everybody should use them. But it's
everybody else should use
it's
them.
not really gonna. What poor
It's
little,
not my
little
thing.
old
Everybody
me.
else should use
I
it.
mean, how much of an impact can I really have? Is it really worth it? I didn't say that. It seems like that the internet is slowly going away. Do you find that the internet is getting patchier and patchier?
How so?
Just like places where there's not.
He thinks
Internet
the internet
connection.
just drops and you lose connection.
I feel like that like our not just
You're
here.
talking about data connectivity as opposed.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like
That caffeine's
websites
kicking in.
disappearing and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I think that they're doing. I feel like I'm generally not
Do
a
you think there's
conspiracy
some culling of the
theorist.
herd going on?
I think that there's something going on. That whole Area 51, and I think there's some disruption in the atmosphere. And it seems like everywhere that I go, the internet gets crappier and crappier.
It's funny.
You're in
I
Germantown.
think more people are using it.
Well, but it started happening here.
But we're reaching a saturation where more people are. So there's only, think of a funnel, and it's like,
Yeah.
you're funneling everything through that pipe, and as more and more people are trying to get stuff through that pipe, then your piece of it gets smaller and smaller. And unless the cell phone company or internet service provider or whoever increases their pipe, then yours is going to slow down. And that's what that's the reason why we need like 5G over 4G, is because everybody's on 4G, and so it's we're just clouding up, blocking up the airwaves and everything
And
else.
you got to think about it too. Everything accesses the internet now.
Everything.
I mean,
your toilet is
I was gonna say,
Wi-Fi connected
Your
at this
doorbell. Yeah.
doorbells. I mean, everything. You'll start hearing a lot of things about Internet of Things. It's IoT, and you'll start, toilet paper will have access to the internet. So Amazon will know when you're low on toilet paper. They'll send you toilet paper.
Well,
So everything eventually is going to be connected to the internet.
Amazon's had dash buttons for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's literally just a button that like by the toilet, wherever you keep toilet paper. So when you grab the last roll of toilet paper, you just hit this button, and it's internet connected and tells Amazon to send you another thing of toilet paper. Or they'll do it with like laundry detergent or dishwashing detergent.
I've got my stuff scheduled. I have my stuff subscribed, and I
You've
schedule
subscribed,
my
yeah.
paper towel, toilet paper, and my washing machine pods.
so how does crappy internet affect Garmin watches and things like that? Do they get like a backlog of?
Well, your
if you're-
Garmin stores most of the data until you sync up.
Okay, so it's not constantly running on any kind of Wi-Fi. It's
This
just
is dumb. Is this a question? But and it's hooked to satellite. It's not really internet. Isn't Garmin satellite?
So you're two separate things.
Okay.
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So the satellite is the GPS part of it, but it uses Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to sync up to your Garmin Connect account. So it either Bluetooths your phone and then uses your phone's data connection, or if you've set up your Wi-Fi on your watch, then yes, it is connected while you're walking around the house. But it's not. I don't think
so
it's
if you're in a
constant-
place with no internet, your watch will ping off the satellite and hold on to that data until you get to internet.
Yeah, I mean it knows your GPS location. Now,
Just like Sillamore,
but
our
like,
watches.
but like
we can't.
when you and I are walking around town, it's not recording your data. It's only when you're doing running, like when you're doing a workout or whatever, that's doing any kind of GPS tracking.
Right.
And so, yeah, like if you like when we go out to Sillamore, there's definitely not any fucking internet at Sillamore. You
Yeah,
turn on
okay.
your watch, you tell it to go run, and then when you finally get back to Memphis and you either connect your watch to your phone or whatever you do to sync it up, all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, and and if you got your Strava link set up, that it pushes it over to Strava and does all that stuff, and so yeah, your watch will definitely record like a lot of run data.
Guess what?
What?
After my parents living on the farm for the last 40 years, they finally played the high-speed internet cables or whatever it is that Dad was wanting for years and years and years.
In Chattanooga, they should have gigabit fiber.
They do, but we couldn't get it over on the farm because we were too far out, and they finally laid the pipe for the fiber optic stuff. Yeah, last week.
Really?
Yeah.
So do they have it run into their house now?
Dad's getting it set up to run to the house.
Oh man!
But they're selling the house. They're going to put the house up for sale in January. But anyway, he'll have it for a few weeks.
Is it going to cost more money? Will he pay the? Tell him I'll pay for it if he
I don't know.
doesn't.
I just need you to have it 1 month a year while I'm there for Christmas. You know.
Yeah.
I was there, and he only has so much, but I didn't think about that. They have they have coins or something that you.
He has some kind of weird like satellite internet.
Oh, that's right.
something.
They had to like start bandwidth limiting you because you were trying to
So
watch
I watched the
games.
LSU Mississippi State game, and I'm over here like, oh come on, oh damn it, and I'm sure Dad's like, man, he's sucking up all my internet, like my whole month's worth of internet. And so then every time I've been over there since, like the internet's been broke.
They just turn it off while you're there.
Yeah, right. I don't blame him. I'd be pissed off if somebody was over there. If I only had a certain amount that I could use. I mean, I've gotten on to Grayson. I used to before we had unlimited. You know, I was on them all the
It's
time.
like old school cell phone stuff, though. After a certain hour at night, you can use more of it or something.
Oh.
What's funny is I worked for Comcast for a short time, and I had the fastest internet the day I left.
Oh, really?
Oh, I had to call in a trouble ticket.
They're like, Chris.
Well, you're not on our VIP plan anymore, Chris.
Exactly.
Is that a thing? Do you think that was
Oh, I
coincidence?
guarantee you, because they gave me the best internet they could give home.
The thing is with Comcast, like they have technology in place to be way faster than what they allow any of us to use.
Yeah.
And so if all they do is just take the rate limiter off and just let you go as fast as you want to go, then that's going to be way faster than any of us are used to. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what they did to him. Like,
You think they can do that by individual?
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
really?
100%.
They can tell exactly what you're looking at, what they want you to look at, and everything. I had fiber outside my house. Still do.
Did you really?
It doesn't come to the house, but it's outside. Oh, everything goes to the node that's outside my house. And I swear to you, the day I left that place, things just went to shit.
Yeah, so if he's got fiber run to the node that's outside of his house, then he could easily get 100 plus gigabit to that node, and that node's probably running 20 or 30 houses at most, and the highest that Comcast sells right now is gigabit. So they are way undersubscribed on the bandwidth to that node.
Interesting. Huh.
So the limitation at that point is your cable modem and what speed your cable modem can communicate at. But assuming he's got the best and they kick off the rate limiter, then it's still 2 to 5 gigabits, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that you can get through cable.
Interesting.
Hey,
Tell you what else is interesting.
The Rev's watching.
He is. All right. Hey, Rev. We miss you, man.
I have a question.
Okay.
Kind of related to the Rev. So we got the inventory done because Dan Wolf still needs his T-shirts and stuff.
I think I've got Dan's shirts.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I think I've had Dan's shirts.
Super concerned for
I
Dan and his shirts.
I've got Dan's shirts. Chris, you should look over there and see if those are extra. He wants extra larges, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I've got them. And Chris is making shirts. So the orders are in.
Good.
Inventory's
It's my
been taken
fault
care
now.
of. No.
So I was getting ready to just order myself. Be like, Chris, I need to order
No,
some shirts.
I should have announced that so y'all could tell me good job.
Good job.
But I forgot. I got the inventory taken care of.
You started to say something else was interesting.
Yeah. I did.
Crystal Pistol Landers and her recovery run. She's starting a 24-hour endurance run. That's going to be, 2 weeks after Tunnel Hill, which is November 20th?
Yeah, it's like the weekend before Thanksgiving, I think, is the way it works out.
I think that sounds like a neat thing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It
Especially
kind of
because
came
it's
out
camping.
from nowhere. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
putting
I'm
on something
excited.
like
I'm
that.
excited to do that. Now, I was going to go to a Notre Dame football game, but then she said camping.
Yeah,
I don't even care about the running. I'm just going to go out there and camp.
that's fine. That's fine. Sounds like fun.
I heard the camping for Big Hill Pond is all filled up.
Yes, it is.
Which is interesting, because last year it did not fill up.
No. I
Well,
think
I
it got a
might
lot
have-
of hype last year, though, and so everybody's wanting to
Yeah.
come back out.
Well, last year it got rained out. Most people, unless you were in an actual camper, most people didn't set up their tents.
They probably saw you having so much fun.
Yeah, you're exuding so much joy.
I want to feel what Swanson's feeling. I want to experience what Swanson experienced. That was not a good day for you.
No.
Not a good night for you.
And Vaughn had a worse night than I did, but
I was gonna say, he stayed with you, didn't he?
No,
He's
Dawn and I were in a
across the way.
tent, and he was across the street in his own tent. And then at some point, he got like flooded out, I think, and like ended up having to put his tent, like throw his tent into the back of the car, and then like slept in the car or something like that.
He just needs to stay out of tents. He goes to Canada and sleeps in a tent. He has to come home early.
Yeah, there's a theme here, Rev.
Well, he said he might just camp out at the world's greatest aid station this year and just have everything. I think that's a great idea.
Interesting.
Okay.
Is that legal?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Right there by the railroad track.
Yeah.
He should just camp out on the railroad track. Be nice and level. Shouldn't have any problems out
Shouldn't be
there.
any
I think if you lay flat, the train will go right over you if you don't raise up.
You can do that. There over in Carryville at Schilling Farms, I was working for a landscape company when I was probably 21, 22 years old. And we were working probably 300 yards away from the truck. And my boss pulls up with another boss, a friend of his that owns another even larger landscape company. And he's like, trains come up and down these tracks every so often. And I had parked that truck and that
On the
trailer
track.
right on the track. Like you couldn't have taken a tape measure and put it any more perfectly, like right on the line. Like the trailer ball was perpendicular with the train. It just would have smashed the whole thing all to hell. That's how.
At what point do you think you would have clued in?
I don't think I would have. I don't think I would.
You would have heard the train. You've been like, "Oh,
Yeah,
cool train."
train's
That never
coming.
would have
Never
crossed
would've.
your mind.
Yep.
Like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
That's funny.
You know who Avron Fogelman is?
I know the name.
He owned part of the Royals, owned the Memphis Chicks.
Okay.
One of the wealthiest businessmen in Memphis. We're doing work over at Fogelman's house, and I have to pick something up, and I got to take the trailer off the back of the truck pretty quickly. I didn't put anything behind I didn't
chalk
chalk
the wheels.
The wheels.
Oops.
I mean, I typically did. I just didn't in this situation. And I'm reeling that thing up, and I hear it, like the ball, like trying to get out from underneath. It's, it's putting pressure back. And about that time, I said, "Donk," and that trailer says, and starts sliding, and I get on the front of it, and my boots are just like skating across
What
the
did it hit?
ground. His iron gate.
Oh.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was not an inexpensive iron gate. Not the first or the last extremely stupid thing that I've done. So Dave Castro explains the methodology to the games. I didn't even know Dave Castro was still in the whole CrossFit arena.
Yeah, he was there.
How does he get to stick around? Everybody else gets
He
canned?
threatened Glassman to kick his ass. He's a fucking Navy SEAL.
He really is a Navy SEAL, isn't he?
A former Navy SEAL, but yeah.
Like you would not look at that guy and think he could.
But
he'd
he
snap
knows
you too.
10 different ways to cut you at any different moment.
You think he puts up with Glassman's crap at all, or you think he's just like, man, I'm the man?
I think when you get at that level, like Special Forces, I think you learn a whole different level of chill. And of course, the other aspect of it is if you've been in the military for any length of time, you've had enough people yell at you and tell you you're stupid and that you're not doing it right and blah blah blah. That, like, what's Glassman gonna say that's gonna get under his skin? I don't know any of that as fact, but that's just my 2 cents.
Well, and if you're whitish Latino and have the balls to put your hair in cornrows,
That's exactly what I was thinking. I wasn't going to say it.
then if you've got the nerve, the gumption to do that, then you can live through anything. There's no amount of shit that you cannot take.
Those corn rolls, I can't believe he wore those last year.
I mean, that would be the ultimate test of a man's spirit. If I showed up tomorrow with cornrows in my hair, then I would probably die.
I wonder how many people openly mocked him.
All of them. I mean, the guy got killed for it, and he walked out on a world stage like, "Hey, man, I got cornrows," knowing full well he had cornrows in his hair. Like if you do that, then it looked like somebody pranked him. You know, like he passed out at some fraternity house or something. But he did it to himself.
Awesome.
So he's still in it. I didn't know he's still in it.
So he explains the methodology. Are there any trade secrets there?
You know, I didn't really read the article. It's just so much reading. I feel like I should have
Headline.
I feel like I should have stuff prepared for the show, but I don't like to read.
Well, if you'll send it to me, I'll read it ahead of time.
You will?
I will.
Okay.
That's why we have this Google Doc.
Well, we had it, but nobody keeps up with it or does anything.
Because if you update it, it doesn't let you know that it's updated. And I don't know
That's
how
totally
to
a
get
thing.
to it again.
Well, I mean, that doesn't sound any less lazy than anything I'm not doing.
I don't know how to get to it again.
Well, don't get to that. Pull up your own articles.
Okay.
No, but if
it's
that's
going to be
where they're-
about
if that's
running
where
and
they're
stuff.
posted.
Whatever it needs to be about, that's fine. It can be about running or chicken. Make it about
That's what this.
fried foods or
Well, for the next
running.
2 weeks, it's probably not going to be.
Huh?
Well, you
for the
talk
next
about
2
all the
weeks.
running you're not doing, like Wilson does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to put it off on the boot that you
Yeah.
can't come up with content?
Yep, I can't because it's blocking my.
See how bad?
running
Y'all are
thought
worse than I
process.
am at coming up with shitty excuses why not to have a quality show with good material. It's just hard
I'll
because
have
you
good material.
you
Okay.
click on something, and then even after you read it, then you have to remember what you just read about, and then like relaying that data back to somebody else. Pretty soon it turns into work, and I don't want to get into that. I need somebody else to do that.
If you'll just point me in the direction of the article, I'll read it.
Well, just Google fitness shit.
No.
Just Google that. What's new in fitness? And then you do the research and I'll talk about it.
Okay. I think we got a plan for next week.
That's what we need, a producer. We need somebody who does the legwork, the stuff that takes intelligence and patience
We don't have anybody like that here.
and the ability to
I was gonna say, I'm
retain
out.
information. Keto's out.
Intelligence, okay, Amanda. Patience,
no, I don't
Amanda.
have patience.
No?
I don't have patience if you see me at Stanky Creek.
Katrin, what is Davis' daughter's name? Katrin
Katrin, David's daughter, yeah.
will be the first CrossFit athlete featured in ESPN's Body Issue. I didn't even know there was a Body Issue. Is that like the swimsuit? Do they still do the swimsuit edition?
Sports Illustrated?
Sports
No.
Illustrated is what I'm thinking of. Never mind.
I don't think they do that anyway.
Is it ESPN that does the nude athlete photo? I mean, it's like you can't see anything, but like the athlete is fully. So
I
one
think
of
that's-
them
You think
I
that's the Body
ESPN.
Issue?
is that. I think that's what the body issue is. So
Okay.
it's very tastefully done in a way that you could tell they're not wearing anything, but
Yeah, the last
not
one
showing
was,
it. It's not. It's not
I can't remember her
pornographic.
name, but she was like laid out in a stretch or whatever, so everything was covered, but it was showed her very
There's a lot of
muscular
famous
body.
athletes that have done this.
Yeah,
Guys and girls.
it's pretty interesting.
But that's cool that she's going to be the first
Yeah.
CrossFitter to
Yeah.
get invited.
Does Sports Illustrated still do the swimsuit edition?
Yes.
That used to be a big thing, or was that just because I was 13?
I think that was like every commercial on the Saturday morning after the cartoons was pushing the Sports Illustrated stuff because my brother like begged till he got to sign up for it and he got the Sports Illustrated sweatshirt and all that stuff.
Sports
Oh.
Illustrated was the deal, man.
Yeah,
Oh, Sports Illustrated does a body issue also.
they do paint. Didn't they do painted bathing suits for a while on the girls? Was that Sports Illustrated? I can't remember.
I didn't even know Sports Illustrated was still around.
Me neither.
Says waist size, not BMI, may be more predictive for coronary artery disease. You believe that? You believe people with bigger waists?
Yeah, because your BMI, the way they calculate your BMI nowadays doesn't take into account like if you're very muscular and very fit that way.
Yeah.
So if you have like Brooke Entz go stand on a scale and they calculate her BMI, she's gonna be morbidly
fat.
obese.
Yeah.
Yeah, at my fittest, I was considered obese.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm even worse so because I'm not even remotely fit. But
That's not true.
well, not fit compared to where I was. Let's just say it that way.
I was obese on day one. I've never not been obese.
But yeah,
And that's not changing. The outlook on that, if I shake the 8-ball, it says the outlook is not good.
BMI is a
You're
terrible.
still fat.
It is. It is bad because Dr. Allen the other day when he pulled my stuff up and everything, and he's like, "Your BMI," and he's like, "You're fine. You're healthy. You're fit."
It's good. Yeah, BMI is a good way to measure the average sedentary person, but at the point that you add muscle into it, it becomes much less.
Yeah, the healthcare community, they need to come up with a better BMI calculation.
Let me ask you this. Do fat people die earlier than skinny people?
Probably.
Statistically, I would think so.
I mean, we still have skinny people coming in with MIs and strokes just because, they have cholesterol buildup and different hereditary issues that isn't related straight up with obesity.
How much of it do you think just depends on your genes, really?
A
How long
lot.
you
A
live?
lot of it does.
Like, I mean, do you think that fitness really keeps you alive a great deal
I do. I
longer?
think-
or do you think it keeps you
I think your genes
happier
probably-
and
I think there are some people that get a pass because they have great genes, and I think there are some people that couldn't do enough because they have bad genes.
I agree.
I think the vast majority of us are improving our lives through fitness and nutrition.
like improving our present,
Yeah.
like making how long,
Well, and
like
the
Ron,
and
like Ron
extending.
Bogart was talking about, that improving our lifespan,
Exactly.
our active lifespan.
Exactly. I heard a study on the radio this morning. They were talking about eating dessert first at dinner.
And last,
Eating dessert
And in between.
first will help you, on average, consume 40% less calories in a meal. And it's because it's all psychological. It was basically associated with, because you eat like the decadent sweet thing ahead of time, you're more conscious as you're eating the meal, and you're going to not eat as many calories in the actual meal because you eat the dessert first. Where if you eat the whole meal, well, now I want something sweet. Well, I'm not going to leave half a piece of cake there, so I'm going to finish the whole thing and blah, blah, blah.
So
I would fall into that. I could see myself doing that. I'd eat my nice fancy dessert first, then be like, "Ooh, that was really fat and stuff. I need to lay off the."
Yeah, I'll just have a salad for dinner now.
Yeah. I'll lay off the
that's
cheese.
total bullshit. Whoever wrote that just got a WordPress account and figured out how to post a blog. That's the same guy that says, like, new research indicates that if you talk too much, then you're probably a nicer person.
Dan said fitness makes it easier for pallbearers to carry us to the grave.
That's about it. I really think it's all just a big scam. Just a big sham. I don't really think it does much for you.
I think so. I think it does.
So do you believe
agree to
that
disagree.
the day you're going to die was predetermined a long time ago and there's no changing it?
Nah, I don't think it's predetermined. I don't really know what I believe.
Okay.
I'm just trying to convince myself out of doing anything
And I'm not
hard.
trying to paint you into a corner.
Like
I'm just,
wanting to. No, I don't believe in like predetermination at all. But I don't really know what I believe in. I don't really think that I care that much. I know I don't believe that somebody was like, "Oh man, I just discovered that if you eat ice cream first, that you'll eat 40% less calories."
I'm willing to try it.
I'm gonna try it tonight. I'm gonna try it tonight and every night.
I think we should go to Krispy Kreme before we go to Popeyes.
We'll eat 40% less Popeyes
That's-
and 40%
well,
less.
you're going to eat 100% less Popeyes because they ain't got no sandwiches.
At Popeyes, you wait in line, and they have taped to their intercom.
Yeah.
Taped, like a printed, like in
We don't have any chicken.
in 14-point font, as if anybody. You got to make it all the way up to the voice thing before it says, "We got no chicken."
Well, if you're already trapped in the drive-thru, then you're going to have to order something else anyway.
It works.
Give me a
You
biscuit.
guys have seen on the on Facebook, like where people check in, like eating dinner with loved ones or whatever, at such and such, right? I've seen more and more people checking in, eating absolutely nothing at Popeyes.
Give me a biscuit.
That's funny. Well, guess what?
We had a time.
We're out of time.
Aw.
Oh, anybody got anything else they'd like to say? Any compliments they'd like to pay me? No?
Any advice on stress fractures? I'll take it.
Any advice on stress fractures?
Keep the boot on.
All right, well, let's go eat dessert.
What dessert does Waffle House have?
Chocolate chip waffles.
Chocolate chip waffles. We're
I
going
don't know
there.
what they have.
Report back next week.
Lift Heavy Run Long number 160 is in the books.
Thanks for listening.
Boom.